How many of you guys have had goals for the last 5 years that you have not been able to achieve? All right, thank you guys for coming over here to our first Lifeaneur networking event. We had a lot of parking issues. I do apologize. I will make sure next year we do this again when we have the cheerleaders here again. So we have the same issue, okay? That's what it's really about. So for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Rob Clark, and I've had an obsession for the last 15 years with studying the things that will actually benefit not only my life positively, but everybody's life positively. And I've created this content in a way which is as simple as possible to learn on all the key benefits of what I call the 6 pillars of leverage, okay? And those 6 pillars of leverage are all the things that you actually have access to and that you have availability to, but a lot of people don't focus on them because they end up typically focusing on what they don't have, right? Like you might have more attention than you do money, but you don't know how to convert attention into money, right? Or you might have a technology and you might be resourceful, but you don't have the relationships you need to build to be able to leverage your technology, to be able to monetize those relationships, right? And so we're gonna go over one of the 6 pillars of leverage today called relationships. Does anyone wanna know what the 6 pillars are? Great. So if you want to write this down, the 6 pillars are money, time, I'll give you time to write it down, technology, attention, relationships, and resourcefulness. Notice that I did not say intelligence. The reason why I didn't say intelligence is because I literally know thousands of people who are intelligent that are broke as crap. And they have nothing but excuses on their whole existence, on everything that we do. And then I literally have people who can't even speak English. They can't read or write in English, and they're worth almost 8 figures because they focus on the embraces of resourcefulness. Yes? Yeah, so it's money and time, technology and attention, relationships, and resourcefulness. Which one do you think is the most important one? Relationships. Who thinks is relationships? Raise your hand. Okay. Who thinks is time? Money, technology, resourcefulness. See my mentees, they know, right? Yeah. So mental resourcefulness is by far the most important one because that's where it starts. Does that make sense? If you're not resourceful enough to know how to go build the relationships that you need to be able to generate, to be able to create what I call those targeted relationships. Okay, that's one of the things that we're gonna go over today, right? On what we're gonna do, okay? So does anybody here have a goal? Raise your hand if you have a goal. Great. Raise your hand if you're willing to share your goal. Beautiful. Come here.
Me?
Yeah. Come here. Tell everyone your name.
Chandler Millar.
Chandler Millar. Awesome. And what's your goal?
I'm starting a company mining in space.
Mining in space.
Yes, sir.
Give us a 40-second pitch on that. Here.
Well, I pondered a long time about what the biggest problems our generation is going to face as we grew up. And I came to the realization that we're going to face many challenges, many of which to overcome are going to require vast amounts of resources. And I figured the best way to do that would be to use the almost unlimited amount of resources that we have out in space. And that's what my company will do.
Is your partner Elon Musk?
Actually, I hope so.
Yeah?
That would be nice.
See, that would be a good targeted relationship for him, right?
Yeah.
Elon, right? So what I would focus on with you is people that are going to be in different events and expos where Elon's going to be, or people that work at SpaceX would be, or people that work at NASA, where they would be, right? Once you understand your goal, then you know how to build your targeted relationships of people that have already achieved that, right? Like I used to be a fitness freak, but then I was also broke, right? I had all the time in the gym, no money whatsoever, right? Lindsay knows, okay? But then I started focusing on leverage and making opportunities for myself because I started hanging out with people that were very successful in business, but they weren't really so focused on relationships and fitness. So now I targeted and have 4 friends at the gym who are fitness freaks who looked like I did when I was in my 20s, right? Not these guys over here, obviously, you know. To be able to make it happen, right? So now they hold me accountable to the way I want to look in shape. It's called the targeted relationship. I want you to write that down. Targeted relationships. It's super important, right? And targeted relationships is probably the biggest underutilized thing I've ever seen in my life. Everybody in the world that has goals, but they have no idea how to obtain those goals. And for whatever reason, they feel like they have to achieve that goal by themselves. And it's crazy. How many of you guys have had goals for the last 5 years that you have not been able to achieve? They've written down, and you kind of broke it down. You maybe got to step 1, 2, got some frustration, and shit, I'll start again on Monday, right? I call those micro self-sabotaging steps, where you're actually taking the micro step to a big step of self-sabotaging, right? So would you like to know exactly how to achieve a goal? Is to be around people that have already achieved that. And sometimes you got to pay the cost to be around those people that have achieved those goals. Anyone here know Grant Cardone? Great. So he has a conference called GrowthCon, right? 18,000 entrepreneurs are going to be in Vegas in 3 weeks, okay? Now I'm going there, but I'm not going there to meet 18,000 people. 18,000 people are going to help me achieve what I'm trying to achieve? No. But I have a diamond ticket, and there's about 300 other people that have diamond tickets, okay? And I get to network with the 300 people that spent the most money for 3 days and potentially find people that I can deliver value to and that they can also help deliver value to me because I know my targeted relationships based on what I'm trying to achieve. Because I'm telling you, when you have somebody that's actually done something that you're trying to achieve, it's lights out, right? Like for hundreds of years, nobody could ever run a mile in under 4 minutes, right? It was a limiting belief that a human body just could not run a 4-minute mile. It couldn't happen at all. It would never happen. Nobody even tried because nobody could push themselves that hard. Roger Bannister envisioned himself doing it repeatedly over and over and over again by himself. And then bam, one day, he did it. And since he's done it, over 18,000 people since he's done it has also done it, including high school kids. What changed? The only thing that changed is it became real. It became real, right? People said, well, if he can do it, I definitely can do it, right? They built that. But Roger Bannister then spent the rest of his life going around to colleges and high schools and preaching people on limiting beliefs that you can do this with the right mentors, the right coaches, the right programs, and the right relationships with the right amount of resourcefulness. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve.